$800,000 is what you will potentially lose if you consider a HDB flat under the PLH model. On the 26th of October, National Development Minister Desmond Lee announced the launch of the Prime Location Public Housing Model, which is the PLH model, which means that future HDB flats that are built in prime central locations will all be subjected to a 10-year MOP, and additional subsidies will be clawed back by the government upon resale. And this is most likely stemmed from the recent bullish prices in the HDB market, where HDB prices hit record high in the third quarter of this year, as well as the increase in HDB flats transactions that went above $1 million. And in the first 9 months of this year, 174 flats were transacted above the $1 million mark compared to 82 for the whole of last year. Homes that are in central Singapore and future Greater Water Southern Front will all be subjected to the PLH model. So what is the main reason why the government decided to announce this PLH model? The aim of the PLH model is to keep prime HDB flats affordable and inclusive, and the government wants to prevent lottery effect, excessive windfall gains that wouldn't be fair to BTO buyers in other parts of Singapore. So how will this affect us? If you are someone who have bought a BTO recently, you don't have to worry because the first BTO that will be under this model will be located in Rochor and launch next month. And these prime HDB flats will be limited to households who do not earn more than $14,000 a month and at least a Singapore citizen, even when it is in the resale market. The PLH model will also apply to future public housing in prime locations and not existing flat owners. The government will also claw back additional subsidies provided to PLH flats, and flat owners will then have to pay a percentage of the resale price to HDB. This is very similar to the capital gain tax in some countries such as France, Germany and Japan. However, it is also important to note that this is not applied to subsequent resale transactions of that flat. And the exact percentage will only be announced at the launch of the Rochor BTO flats. Future resale buyers will also need to fulfill the same prevailing eligibility conditions for buying this flat directly from HDB: household income ceiling of $14,000, not holding a private property or sold any in the last 30 months, and this is steered towards first-time buyers. And because of the eligibility of $14,000, based on a bank loan, the max price of such units will only be able to go up to $1.1 million in a resale market. Singles above 35 years old also cannot buy such flats as well. Eligibility conditions of flats that are under the PLH model will be different from those that are in the current resale market. So those resale flats currently only need one Singapore citizen or PR. However, for individuals who are looking to buy a PLH flat in the resale market, you need to have at least one Singapore citizen. Secondly, in the resale market as of now, you can be a single that's above the age of 35. However, if you're looking to buy a PLH flat, eventually you cannot be a single, you need to fulfill the family nucleus. Third, in the PLH model, you need to have an income ceiling of $14,000, whereas for any resale flats, you do not have to meet any income criteria at all. Lastly, for the resale flats that are currently in the market, it is allowed for you to buy a HDB if you dispose a private property within 6 months of buying the resale flat. However, if you are looking to buy a PLH flat eventually in the resale market, you must not have owned or have an interest in the private property and have not disposed of it in the last 30 months. My personal thought is for you to rethink if you are looking for future BTOs that are under the PLH model. Resale HDBs may also not be a good alternative due to the stagnation of prices as well as the slow decrease in price as the lease decays. So if you're looking for a more investable option, you can consider ECs or even private properties. Assuming that you are buying HDBs under the PLH model for potential investment gains, do consider the 4-year duration to build as well as the 10 years MOP period. 14 years in total, which will mean 4 3-year cycles that you can flip your private property will be wasted. Owners under the PLH model will also not have the liberty to rent the entire unit, therefore may not be a good rental asset in the future as well. However, if you are looking at a long-term and affordable stay in a central area, then such homes are definitely worth considering. Thank you so much for staying till the end, and do speak to any of the brokers in Millennial Real Estate to help you restructure your plans objectively with these recent changes. This is Jervis Isaiah from JNA once again, and thank you so much for your time.